morning, students. You are learning the second chapter, National Income. So, yesterday I taught about personal income, per capita income, disposable income, real income, GDP, deflator. Everything we have seen. I already taught about the three methods calculating the national income. Let us discuss about production or value added method or product method we can see. Let me see the product method. How can we calculate the national income through the product method? The product method is measured output of the country. It is also called the inventory method. Underline it. This is 1 mark answer. Inventory method. Under this method, the gross value of output from different sectors like agriculture, industry, trade, commerce, transport, everything is obtained for entire economy during a year. So the value obtained is actually the GNP at market prices. Whatever the GNP at market prices, it is calculated as national income through the product method. Care must be taken to avoid double counting. Here you should know about avoiding double counting. The value of the final product is derived from summation of all the values added in the productive process. We have to summate everything, all the values added in the productive process. To avoid double counting, either the value of the final output should be taken into the estimate of GNP or the sum of values added should be taken. Because we are going to avoid double counting, that's why either the value of the final output should be taken into estimate as GNP or sum of values added should be taken here. In India, the gross value of the farm output is obtained as follows. So the gross value of farm, you know that farm output, that and all obtained like total production of 64% agricultural commodities is estimated. The output of each crop is measured by multiplying the area sown by the average yield per hectare. Likewise, we have to measure the farm output. Okay, the total production of 64 agricultural commodities coming under this estimation. The output of each crop is measured by multiplying the area sown, how much area they sown, by the average yield per hectare. Then the answer will be come. How much we are yielding from the agricultural commodities. Then we have to estimate. The total output of each commodity is valued at market prices. So overall the output, the farm output of each commodities, which means 64 agricultural commodities they said, So that 64 agricultural commodities valued at a market prices only. Then the aggregate value of total output of these 64 commodities is taken to measure the gross value of agricultural output, as I told to you. The 64 commodities is taken into account to measure the gross value of agricultural output. Here we are going to measure the agricultural output. Okay. The net value of the agricultural output is measured by making deduction for the cost of seeds, manure and fertilizer, market charges, repairs and depreciation from the gross value. Whatever tear and wear, machinery, suppose the farmers using machineries, maybe replacing the machine. Similarly, the gross value of the output of animal husbandry, like agricultural farm, here we are going to calculate the animal husbandry, forestry, fishery, mining and factory establishment are obtained by multiplying their estimates of total production with the market prices. We have to multiplying each and every factors with the market prices. Okay, the estimates the total production with market prices only, multiplying their estimates. Okay, net value of the output in these sectors, animal husbandry, forestry, like that sectors, is derived by making deductions for cost of materials used in the process of production and depreciation allowances, etc. Whatever they are maintaining, whatever they are did their expenditure about materials they used in the process of production. It may be depreciation allowances. So whatever may be that and all from gross value of output. We have to deduct from the gross value of output. So net value of each sector measured in this way indicates the net contribution of the sectors to the national income. Such a way they are calculating each and every sector. So how we are going to reach the national income, whether which is high or decrease. That and all, like that they are calculating or measuring the factors, the sectors. It may be the agricultural sector, 64 commodities they said, like that the animal husbandry, forestry, fishery, mining, the factory establishment, everything. Such a way they are going to take measures, calculating the national income. So how much they are contributing to the national income? We can directly collect all those informations. How much they are contributing to the national income. Maybe the animal husbandry, how much they are contributing to the nation. Forestry. In a year, forest department only how much they can produce and how much they contributing to the national income. Like that we can evaluate everything and measuring the national income. Precautions. What are the precautions we have to make while we are calculating the national income? In the product method, okay, in the product method, we should know about these precautions. The product method is followed in the underdeveloped countries. This is followed in the UDC countries. But it is less reliable because the margin of error in this method is large. So, though we are avoiding the double counting and conscious in the calculation of national income, the factors contribution, it may be less reliable because the margin of error may be coming. So in this method, this is very large method, so error may be here. In India, this method is applied to agriculture, mining and manufacturing, including handicrafts, not like other departments or other sectors. Double counting is to be avoided under value added method. Any commodity which is either raw material or intermediate good for the final production should not be included. For example, value of cotton enters value of yarn as cost. The value of yarn in cloth making and that of the cloth in garments, isn't it? So at the every stage value added only should be calculated. This is double counting. Able to understand? The value of output used for self-consumption should be counted while measuring national income. So here the self-consumption should be counted. But in reality, we should not consider about the self-consumption. That also we are neglecting. So the fake result will be there, isn't it? And in the case of durable goods, sale and purchase of second hand goods should not be included here. Suppose we are selling our two-wheeler or four-wheeler, or buying second hand products. This and all not coming under this product method. It should not be included here. So this also we should taken care about measuring the factor contribution to the national income. These are the precautions of product method. We can say demerits also. We can say it demerits of product method. Let us see the income method. It also known as factor earning method. This method approaches the national income from the distribution side. This only coming by distribution side. Under this method, national income is calculated by adding up all the incomes generated in the course of producing national product. Okay, all the income. So, this is distribution side only we are seeing. So, every income we are going to add as a national income when they are producing the national product. What are the steps involving here? The enterprises are classified into various industrial groups. First, they have to classify their groups. The factor incomes are grouped under labor income, capital income and mixed income. The categories they varied. What are they? Labor income, capital income and mixed income. What is labor income? Wages and salaries, fringe benefits, employees' contribution to the social security. These are all coming under labor income. Capital income. So under this capital income, profit, interest, dividend and royalty. These are all coming under this topic. Mixed income. Farming, sole proprietorship and other professions coming under this mixed income. So that the national income is calculated as domestic factor income plus net factor income from abroad. In short, Y equal to, Y means national income. W plus R plus I plus pi plus R minus P. We know that W means wages, R means rent, I means interest, pi means profits, R exports and P imports. We know that R means received, P means paid. But here they insisting R is export and P is import. Yes, true. Like that export and import, there is received and paid also acting, no? That's why they say here. This method is adopted for estimating the contributions of the remaining sectors, vice versa, small enterprises, banking and insurance, commerce, transport, professions, liberal arts and domestic service, public authorities, house property and foreign sector transaction. These are all coming under this method. What method? Income method. And data on this income method from abroad, the rest of the world sector or foreign sector, are obtained from the account of the balance of payments of the country. How can we calculate the national income in the income method? Means the data of income from abroad through the balance of payment of the country. So balance of payment means every country maintaining balance of payment. That is their account section. Through their account section we can calculate. What are the precautions? While we are estimating the national income through income method, the following precautions should be taken. Transfer payments are not to be included in estimation of national income, as these payments are not received for any services provided in the country at current year, such as pension, social insurance, etc. So the transfer payments are not being included. What are the transfer payment? Pension, social insurance, these are all not included here because these are all providing by the government to the public. So the receipts from the sale of second-hand goods should not be treated as part of national income, as they do not create new flow of goods or services in the current year, because already it added when they are bought a new car means at the time they paid. Okay, at the time of they bought, that amount calculated as a national income side. Again, we should not take an account in the second hand goods. Okay, if they are selling the second hand, that and all not calculated here. So which is not to be treated as part of national income, as they do not create a new flow of goods and services. So that's why they are saying here, windfall gains such as lotteries. The lotteries are not to be included as they do not represent receipt from any current productivity activity. Okay, this is not a productive activity. Sudden offers, they are getting a huge amount of money, which is lottery maybe, or treasury, anything. Suppose they got. So that and all not making any productive activity. Sudden offers getting gain, okay, which is called windfall gain. And corporate profit tax should not be separately included, as it has been already included as a part of a company profit. So you know that the corporate profit. So the corporate profit tax should not be separately included, as it has been already included as a part of company profit. So already it added. Again and again, we should not go and including in the income method.